Why is President Trump sending American warships to Venezuela's coast? It's not for training. He is deploying these destroyers as part of his focus on fighting Latin America's drug cartels, and it very well could drag the U.S. into an international showdown. These are the ships: 3 U.S. Navy Aegis guided missile destroyers, the USS Gravely, the USS Jason Dunham, and the USS Samson, and they are set to sail in just the next few days. A White House official tells CBS News that they will stay around Venezuela for months, but in international waters, and they could launch targeted strikes against cartels that Trump has branded foreign terrorist organizations. That is actually the same label usually reserved for groups like ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Now, the president is blaming these cartels for, one, the fentanyl and cocaine that's been flooding into American communities, and two, for fueling violence across American cities. But Venezuela's president, that's Nicolas Maduro, he is hitting back and hitting back hard. He's not only dismissing those claims, but he's also mobilizing, get this, 4.5 million militia members across his country, saying that the U.S. had increased its threats against his country, and he's even banned the sale and the operation of drones in Venezuelan airspace because he's afraid of getting assassinated, like an attempt back in 2018. And remember, during Trump's first term, Maduro was already indicted in the United States on narco-terrorism charges. That was with a $15 million U.S. bounty on his head. Then just a couple weeks ago, that was upped to $50 million.
Donald Trump sent 6 warships and 1 submarine off the coast of Venezuela this morning. What's that about? Well, he doesn't rule out a boots-on-the-ground invasion of the vast territory of Venezuela with its government, which, let me put it this way, would be itching for a fight with the 4,000 U.S. Marines that Donald Trump has on board these warships. He hasn't ruled out, Donald Trump, a landing, boots-on-the-ground invasion. All in the interests of fighting the drug cartels, of course. Nothing to do with the fact that Venezuela is the world's largest oil-producing country, and that Venezuelan oil is perfectly suited to the American refinery market. Nothing to do with creating yet another war when the wars he's already deeply involved and implicated in are, despite his repeated protestations, not yet resolved.
This is breaking news. Nicolás Maduro from Venezuela has just declared that he has mobilized 4.5 million militia in Venezuela in response to the United States sanctions and their threats against him. So Nicolás Maduro just declared earlier this morning that 4.5 million militiamen are armed, activated, and ready as the United States has sent thousands of U.S. troops along the Latin America Ocean Center right around Venezuela. And this is all in an attempt that the United States is trying to bring control over the cartels that are running rampant all throughout Mexico and surrounding Latin America countries, especially since those countries have done little to nothing to combat these efforts against the cartels. And Nicolás Maduro, who has been connected to multiple cartel ties, is now responding with his type of militia, saying that he is ready to not only fight against the United States, but willing to risk 4.5 million militia men in order for him to stay in power.
A new conflict is about to erupt, and this time it's between the United States and Venezuela. For years, Washington has accused President Nicolas Maduro of running a vast narcotics empire worth billions, fueling corruption, violence, and allowing him to maintain his grip on power. Now, America is striking back. The U.S. has deployed 4,000 combat troops alongside 4 heavily armed warships into the heart of Latin America. Officials claim the mission is aimed at dismantling cartels, but the scale of the operation suggests another story. Maduro responded with defiance, announcing that 4.5 million militia fighters are now activated and fully prepared for a confrontation with the United States. If America sets even one step on Venezuelan soil, we will push back with everything we have, he declared. American commanders insist their forces remain stationed in the Latin American waters, but tensions are spreading fast. Reports warn this crisis could spill over into Mexico, where cartel violence is already spiraling out of control. One miscalculation could ignite a regional war, and in the end, the world can only pray for peace.
So the president of America in the person of Donald Trump have declared war on Venezuela, and this time around, in fact, he staged $50 million on Venezuela's president. And according to the news, you guys heard from the horse's mouth, you guys hear different news, people what they are saying on this same video, where they are saying that during Trump's first term, when he was during his first time as the president of America, he threatened to remove this man, he threatened to kill this man, and now in his second term, he's actually looking for a way to eliminate this man, this and this. So this man is now saying that he will, in fact, he is going to fight with the last of his blood. This time around, he has mobilized 4.5 million militias to fight against Trump troops. And guess what? Trump have already deployed his militaries to the coastal, that is to the sea of Venezuela. And guess what? This is war upon war. Honestly, this is not really easy. The cartels are fully ready. But what I don't understand from Trump, ever since he emerged as the president of America, in this his second time, it has been from one bus to the other. What exactly is wrong with this man? Why is he only after other countries' affairs? Why can't he just centralize in his own? Why can't he just to work in America and make America great? All he is after is different countries. Does it mean America cannot do without other countries? The way this man was built, increasing tariffs, this and that from different countries. If you want to import goods, if you want to bring your goods from any country to America, they are going to pay a tax, they are going this and that. Then why is he not satisfied? Why going from country to country looking for? I don't even understand what is wrong with this man. I don't understand it. It is turning to something else. Christians all over the world, they want you to rule by example. They want you, but the way you are going, the way you are doing, we are afraid that this is not the kind of person in fact, we are expecting you to be. Now you come, we don't want this man to be in power. You are saying that he is the head of cartels, head of militia, is importing narcotics and all kinds of drugs in America. We understand that, but there are ways in which you can quench all this. Don't you have people that regulate on the road? You have immigration officers. They should be the one that should, source all these things and ensure that all these things does not find its way into America. That is the best way. Rather than going to another man's country to fight the president, you want to remove a country's president by fire, by force. Look at what is going on. We are suffering in Nigeria. Have you ever come to remove Nigerian president before? Then why are you always eagerly to remove all people, different people, and you fail to address the issues where many people are dying on daily basis? Kai. Anyway, this is the latest news. Why the Trump administration sends 3 guided missile destroyers to the Caribbean Sea, where it has maintained a deployment for several weeks under the premise of combating drug trafficking. The government of Nicolas Maduro has responded by mobilizing 4.5 million militia members as part of a special plan in response to what the Venezuelan president called extravagant threat from the U.S. So what do you think? Remember that America is trying to look for peace between Russia and Ukraine, and now they're declaring war to this Venezuela. Have you ever thought if these people you are fighting against could collide one day and come to attack you, would you be able to survive it? So why are you making yourself, your country, enemies to different countries? Do you think properly before venturing into these wars with different countries? For crying out loud, the world is too big to contain every one of us, rather than always fighting from one country to the other. For crying out loud, we can live, we can cohabitate peacefully here on earth. We are all foreigners here on earth. We are not going to live here forever. One day, eventually, all of us will go, but we are not going to go once. We are going one after the other, and that is how it is. So enough of all this war. Israel is at war with this country, that and this. And now, Trump is taking war to Venezuela. And remember that Venezuela has a lot of oil. And now people are saying that, forget about all this thing that Trump is going to Venezuela because of the natural resources. He's going to Venezuela because of their oil. He's going to fight Venezuela because of his own personal gain, because of what he will drive. If I told you guys have watched our video regarding the Kissinger's report of 1974, And when we are comparing it to the recent bigot, agenda of GMO, you will discover that these people taking war to different countries is for their own satisfaction. They have need, they have budget, they have plan why they are taking war to a particular country. Whenever America is taking war to any country, understand in fact they have discovered something very vital in that your country that they really need, and for them to in order for them to get that, they have to take it by fire by force, and it is wrong. How many countries have you seen coming to America by fire by force, or trying to take anything that belongs to America by fire by force, or trying to remove an American president? For crying out loud, don't think that you make you God over all of us here on earth. You are not God to Venezuelan people, neither are you God to Europeans, neither are you God to Africans. You are just a leader in your own country. You're just a leader. So what makes you think that you have power over every other person here on earth? Kai, it is really sad. It is really sad. So I want to take you guys to some of the details of this news in case you don't understand what is going on, or you don't understand what these guys have said vividly on this video. They say Venezuela's president, known as Nicolas Maduro, announced on Monday the deployment of 4.5 million militia men throughout the country, assuring that no empire will touch the sacred soil of Venezuela. After the United States doubled the reward for information leading to his arrest and increased the number of troops sailing around Latin America and the Caribbean. So last week, the U.S. government confirmed to CNN that it had ordered naval movement in the region to contain the threat from drug trafficking groups. So on Monday, Reuters reported that 3 new U.S. Navy destroyers and some 4,000 military personnel would arrive in the edge of Venezuela's territorial waters within the next 36 hours. So on Tuesday, however, a U.S. Department of Defense official said there are currently no U.S. ships in the area, and nor have the ships received orders to head there. Venezuelan territory has almost 22,500 miles of coastal line. So this week, I am going to activate a special plan to guarantee coverage with more than 4.5 million militiamen throughout the national territory. Militias prepared, activated, and armed, Maduro said during a televised meeting with the country's governors and mayors. So the president described the extravagant, bizarre, and outlandish U.S. threat as rotten rehashes, without specifying what he was referring to. So we defend our seas, our skies, and our lands. We liberated them. We guard and patrol them. No empire will touch the sacred soil of Venezuela, nor should it touch the sacred soil of South America, he emphasized in his speech. He equally said that White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was asked on Tuesday about a possible troop deployment to Venezuela following reports of the military buildup. President Donald Trump has been very clear and consistent. He is prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flowing into our country and to bring those responsible to justice. She equally said that she also reiterated that the U.S. government's position that Maduro is not a legitimate president. Washington and Caracas have not had formal bilateral diplomatic relations since 2019. So the Venezuelan government rejected Washington's accusation of drug trafficking, saying in a statement that the U.S. was resorting to threats and defamation. So the Venezuelan militia, which was created in 2005 by the late President Hugo Chavez and formally established in 2010, is part of the Bolivarian National Armed Forces, known as FAMB, and has at its vision the incorporation of the organized people to guarantee the comprehensive defense of the nation. Maduro also said he will move forward with a plan to activate peasant and worker militias in all factories and workplaces in the country, missiles and rifles for the working class to defend our home. The Venezuelan Ministry of Defense says on its website that the FAMB is made up of around 95,000 to 150,000 active combatants and a growing national militia made up of hundreds of thousands of people capable of serving as reservists. So the Global Firepower website, which specializes in military analysis and uses official statistics or makes estimates when they are not available, ranks Venezuela 50th in military power in the 2025 ranking among among 145 countries in the United States, and the United States ranks first, Russia second, and China third. So a few weeks ago, the Trump administration doubled the reward to $50 million, like I said earlier, for information leading to the arrest of Maduro, whom it described as one of the world's largest drug traffickers, head of the cartel of the Suns, and a threat to U.S. national security. The Venezuelan government and other institutions in the country rejected the announcement, and several Chavista figures have dismissed the allegations. Interior Minister known as Diosdado Cabello has said that the cartel de los allegations SOS is an invention of the U.S., and the Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez has categorically rejected Washington's ridiculous accusations. So, my people, what do you think is going on? And what do you think is this drug cartel of issue the reason why Trump is, deploying his militaries to the Caribbean Sea, deploying his militaries to go and capture this the president of Venezuela? So, what do you think? Is this a welcome development? Is this the best way to, for you to quench drug abuse in your country, or for you to stop importation of all kinds of drugs in your country? Is it the best way, going into another country to fight them because you assume, or you alleged, or you just assume that they are the ones, importing drugs in your country? What do you think? Kindly drop your opinion in the comment section. And if this is your first time coming across our channel, don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the bell button so you will always get notified whenever we post our latest content. I am my humble self, Chidima Clement. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to drop your opinion in the comment section.